Hello, welcome to Dog Food with Catherine Abel, the show about dogs that feeds the mind and spirit. Today's story is The Snuggle Factor. It is a protracted affair, which begins outside on the shaded side of the house, on the porch, almost right in front of the dog door, but not quite, because Kissy is catty-corner to it, and Nonny is wary of her. She should be. Kissy has surprise ambushed her in this exact location already 4 times today. This time, Noni promises herself she'll be brave, not intimidated by the peculiar wild gleam in Kissy's green eyes. Green eyes which are communicating something Noni, time and again, thinks she must be misinterpreting. This time, she'll walk slowly, confidently, yet constantly watching her out of the corner of her right eye in case she moves her head, body, or paw to an undeniable swiping attack position. Kissy doesn't necessarily want to go inside, yet she does and will at will, because there's a see-through flap which allows her access to everything anytime. She has full visual access and full physical access to the home where she lives, thrives, and rules over the 4 large breed dogs who inhabit the dwelling with her. The black skinny dog has to be reprimanded several times a day. Initially, she allowed the creature to chase her off. She couldn't help it. The being would come out of nowhere at full gallop, and Kissy felt she had no choice but to run wildly away. Sometimes she leapt high and away, and within seconds found herself on the roof. This reaction was curtailed when the breakneck galloping was eliminated. She has sharp claws on 4 feet, and she's not afraid to use them. The black skinny dog knows this now and acts accordingly, with respect and measured movements. Her youth made her a speedy and adept learner. Kissy goes inside and sleeps on the beds, any bed she chooses, her bed, her human's bed, or the dog beds. There are 3 situated in cozy locations which particularly appeal to her sneaky cat instincts. Whenever she chooses to sleep on a dog bed, she's unmolested throughout her dream time. Having been taught valuable and unforgettable lessons, the dogs rarely approach Kissy. Sometimes, every single day, 6 to 20 times a day, she'll jump onto the bar to greet her human or simply to relish the high ground. From her bar top height, she can swipe away, but her swipes don't reach anything but the tips of high, wagging tails every now and then. And she has noticed her actions intimidate no one from this particular perch. If she's able to catch Noni's gentle brown eyes, which she's always trying to do for fun and mischief and cat stuff, she'll stare at her blankly, which Noni misinterprets as a cat threat and looks away as fast as she can. Noni is a 55-pound Tiger Brindle pit bull. She is completely unaware of what her breed allegedly signifies in the world. She does not know her forebears were bred for the sporadic imbecility of man. She does not know she is supposed to be unerringly brave, even mercilessly ferocious at times. She does not know she's capable of harming another living being because it would never occur to her to do so. She doesn't know she's supposed to be alarmingly physically courageous in the face of any threat because she has never known any real threat. Perhaps if she had experience with actual threats, she wouldn't be so afraid of the 7-pound mackerel tabby cat. Then again, Noni is an undeniable sweetheart who prefers affection and love snuggles more than anything. Well, almost more than anything. Eating food is a pretty big deal, too. The object of Noni's desire lies inside on the sofa, stretched out long and relaxed, reading books, listening to music, or watching television with only the subtitles for the dramatic flow of information. She'll be barefoot because she doesn't like to wear shoes inside or outside. But society at present dictates shoes must be worn when one leaves one's property. Many establishments have a no shoes, no service policy. It's confusing to Noni since she's permitted in those same establishments without shoes every time she accompanies her human, which is all the time since her human doesn't go anywhere she can't take the dogs. Her human loves her. So much so that Noni loves her back 1,000-fold. Dogs can't help it. If a human truly loves a dog, the dog is incapable of returning the sentiment with any vigor less than that. Dogs are intense little creatures who are continually underestimated by their human counterparts. They don't hold this against them. Dogs know humans are just now learning how to love others than themselves. They are patient. Their patience is outmatched only by their kindness. Noni's goal is the same sofa upon which her human is now enjoying her time of being alive. She wants to be beside her. It is important. She does not know why. She does not try to read books or watch television. She accepts and acts on the compelling desire to be with her human, wherever that may be. However, the sofa does have a particularly special draw, as it is phenomenally comfortable, and she can lie horizontally, vertically, and diagonally with equal states of comfort. The direction doesn't matter in the least. But when her human is on the sofa, it feels like the positions are more comfortable, that she sleeps better, that somehow she's happier. She dreams good dreams that make her tail wag. She dreams about riding in the car, eating baby back ribs, running in the park, and being thoroughly hugged and adored by the only one who actually counts in her reality. Noni loves her human more than her own life. She doesn't know what this means, or that her human hopes she never has to find out. Kissy is not moving. Noni cannot get to the door unless Kissy moves away. Her current position will enable her to swipe with success if Noni tries to get by her. That cat knows all the tricks. She looks at her glittering eyes and sees a pronounced M shape above them. She knows what it stands for without Kissy telling her. Magician, mentalist, marauder, mythological, magnificent. Suddenly, Kissy darts away for apparently no reason. She does this frequently. Noni will think she's in the middle of a psychological war to beat all wars when Kissy will leave in the middle of the tense encounter. Without further ado, Noni makes quickly for the dog door, which Kissy thinks is a cat door. When she places one foot inside, she's instantly reminded how wonderful it feels to stretch as far as her chunky body possibly can, from nose tip to tail tip. The procedure takes time. Her favorite moment is when she is half in, half out of the door. She feels as though she is between dimensions, as though she's leaving one world for an entirely different world, which in fact, this is exactly what she's doing. Outside, there's constant stimulation. There's the drama of watching the cur bark at anyone who comes within 50 feet of the property. Sometimes these voluble warnings prompt Noni to investigate the purported threat. The cur can be incredibly convincing. Only this morning there were at least 17 false alarms. The elderly man walking past was the greatest concern, but did not warrant a warning from Noni. The cur can be depended upon to take care of all yelling and screaming at strangers. Noni rarely barks. She likes that when she does bark, her human always comes to see what could be the cause. Yesterday, next door, a stranger on an orange lawnmower with an absurd-looking hat caused her to bark 4 consecutive times. By the time her human stood beside her, Noni could tell there was nothing to be concerned about. The absurd hat had nothing to do with harm, only with protection of the man's facial skin. She understood every word her human said. Not really, but she can think the words exactly as they were uttered, even though she doesn't garner their meaning. The true clue was her human's convincing, relaxed demeanor and the prompt return indoors. The stretching is marvelous. There's no other way to think about it. Why is the stretching between dimensions so delightful? It takes skill. It's not as easy as it looks. When she deems it's time to fully cross the threshold, She must bring her back feet in one by one without touching the dog door at all. She doesn't know why this is part of the procedure. It just is. It's the way she has always done it, so it must be the proper way it is done. She knows this by how renewed she feels after the stretch, every single time. From the hall doorway, the ritual officially begins. She confirms that her private chauffeur is on the sofa and not elsewhere in their home. Once confirmed, she does not move forward. She stands in the middle of the doorframe and confirms the living room. She confirms the furniture is in the same place. She confirms the locations of her sisters, if they're sleeping, drinking water, chewing on something which is allowed, and if warranted, communicates with them telepathically. Noni. Hello. Love. You are inside. Noni. Yes. Love. So am I. Noni. That means we are inside together. Love. Is that what it means? Noni. I don't know. Lastly, she confirms the absence of Kissy. Once the totality of confirmations has been confirmed, the way forward to the most pleasurable act on earth can begin. She walks to the brown pleather tuxedo sofa, which is low to the ground as tuxedo sofas were designed to be. Step 1. Noni announces her presence to her human by standing with her head at the same level as her human's. Her human begins immediately rearranging herself, moving over to accommodate the best snuggler she knows. Noni wags her tail and smiles as her personal chef pats the sofa cushion in undeniable invitation. But no move is made to reach the goal she's seeking. There is a regimen which must be followed before the prize is obtained. Her housekeeper begins petting her on the top of her head. There are flat-handed pets which involve the full contact of the palm with each stroke. These migrate to the top of the head, and then the cheek scratches, which consist of using 2 to 3 to 4 fingers and fingernails, whichever will fit in the space being scratched. This portion of step number 1 can last for 24 to 10,000 hours. Noni likes it that much, but her housekeeper and private chauffeur wants her on the sofa beside her, her weight leaning on her side, the warmth of her body pushing in relaxation and true love. The act of snuggling is a reciprocal act. The snuggler and the snugglee both enjoy the same measure of nirvana produced by the actions resulting from the intention and the act of snuggling. Noni's pedicurist stops petting her. She looks into her brown eyes that communicate a world of emotion. She then turns away as if she doesn't care, as if it doesn't matter if her chunky love comes onto the sofa or not. This is part of the regimen, and in no way a performance of cruelty. This particular pit bull has taught her trail pal that this is the singular tack to follow if the end goal is to be met. Noni melts her heart with her liquid gaze yearnings, but the human remains strong. She has no more work to complete this day. The yard is mowed, the vines trimmed, the elephant ears suitably reprimanded. She can lounge on the couch for hours and, more than anything, wants Noni to do the same. Step number 2. Noni wills her best trail pal to continue petting her head for 1 more month. She eventually recognizes and admits to herself no such actions will occur. She also recognizes and perfectly remembers once she obtains a place among the cushions, her personal masseuse will rub her back, her sides, her legs, and her belly, if she has the energy to roll over. She wants to be on the sofa more than anything. Her memory mind conveys to her that her human will be long and supine for quite some time. Now she must figure out how to get onto the sofa with the absolute least amount of effort. Efforts that appear puny to some humans who might possibly be prompted to reach over with both arms outstretched and haul her right on over. She watches her human pick up a flexible object and admits to herself she'll be the only one in this situation doing the heavy lifting. She glances at her human, who accidentally meets her beckoning gaze for 3 faltering seconds. Noni waits hopefully for an efficacious haul, but her human looks back onto the white paper with the small black things dotting them. Though she is capable of starting like a gazelle, a mind-blowing physical act executed by leaping 3 to 4 feet off the ground with all fours, she embraces the requisite drama which must unfold to her timetable when the act of snuggling is inevitable. With surprising adroitness, her 2 front feet land on the edge of the sofa with almost no sound. Noni regularly surprises her human with her ability to navigate her world in silence. By contrast, when she's licking her legs or rear end, the sounds can be heard next door, inside next door. Front feet on the sofa edge, she attempts once again to woo her human into a haul. Her human glances at her, then back to the little black marks. It's up to Noni, alone, to deliver herself onto the sofa. She will do so with practiced slow motion. Motions so slow that it takes 5 minutes to arrive standing on a sofa cushion. The right back leg is asked to rise, but only manages 3 inches. Noni looks to her dietitian for assistance, but is wordlessly denied. Again, the right leg is asked to rise 16 inches off the ground, 16 inches only, because she is pressing down on the cushion, lowering it 3 inches in her chunkiness. The back leg cannot perform, though the same leg performed beautifully this morning when running full blast to the car and down winding forest trails. At this moment, it is apparently half paralyzed and desperately needs assistance. Assistance which will not be forthcoming. Her human has gone deep into her world of black mark concentration and shows no signs of exiting any time soon. She will try to bring the left leg upward. No, it's not happening. She leans onto her nurse's chest in a move portraying total surrender to gravity, that she will, in fact, require a haul. 2 minutes later, there has been no movement from either being. Noni gives in first. While keeping her head on her human's chest, she brings first the right back leg, then the left back leg onto the sofa. Her movements are slow and painful, and convey possible failure with each feeble effort. Soon, her position is one of a circus bear balancing on a big red and white striped ball. Her 4 feet are impossibly close together, her balance perfect and effortless. Her human almost looks up at her and grins her delight, but remains strong and convincingly aloof. She forgot to bring a blanket to the living room, so requires the serious warmth this beloved creature will supply once she gets herself good and settled. From her circus ball posture, she turns like a professional circus ball performer with a balance that can surely be submitted to the Guinness Book of World Records if such awesomeness were included in their inspiring books. Once Noni is facing her human, she moves her left foot forward to begin a trek she instigates like a Sherpa in the Himalayan mountain range, walking slowly around her human before she can settle down to her 14th nap of the day. Step number 3, the official beginning of the actual snuggle. The trek begins and is accomplished with aching slow motion. Aching because Noni slowly steps on her human's right shoulder, hair, nose, and forehead as though they're part of the unfeeling sofa. Her route is the same every time. Why? It is a mystery that will remain a mystery. When she arrives at the head of the sofa, she stops and stands for 36 seconds. Her human does not know what she is looking at during those critical decision-making moments. Is it a comprehensive survey to determine the best path to the end of the sofa? Sometimes the trek is halted here. Noni will lie down on the pillows placed strategically behind her human's head for the most derivable comfort that will only be enjoyed by Noni, as her sure chunkiness pushes her human's head completely away from her comfort-driven efforts. Today is not such a day. Today, Noni will make the entire slow-motion trek. Why? It is a mystery that will remain a mystery. Once her personal shopper's head is circled in slow motion and her other shoulder is stepped upon, Noni decides to lie down. She arranges herself diagonally across her human's chest and stomach. She finds this to be extremely pleasant, as her human's body is now another cushion on top of the sofa cushions. She thinks she could sleep for quite some time in this position. Alas, it is not meant to be. Noni's build possesses the characteristics of both the American Bully and the Staffordshire Bull Terrier. There is literally no telling what other breed lines float around in her amazing DNA, as she was noticed as a 4-month-old starving puppy with a black eye and a wound so severe to the roof of her mouth she could not eat food with edges for a good bit of time. Surely a dog possessing such readily identifiable, remarkable breeds would not be abandoned to the cruel and precocious twists of fate existing on the curb of a busy 4-lane highway. But the American South has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt to be one of the most dangerous places on earth for any dog to land. Dumping a dog of any breed is a skill the Southern human has diligently sought to master. They have become noted experts and are proud of it. Why do so many establishments and rescues for unwanted dogs exist within every Southern state, if the Southern humans are not proud of possessing such dastardly skills? Having escaped a sure and painful death, her squat, chunky body now lies solidly on top of the one who loves her more every day. Her human would allow her to remain if she were not cutting off her circulation and breath. While Noni only weighs 55 pounds, she somehow manages to feel like 110 pounds. Her human takes it for as long as she can because, at first, it feels good. Her little body is substantial and pliant and brings both warmth and joy to her being. She doesn't want her to move, but if Noni's personal mind helper is to continue to breathe, Noni must move. Step number 4. The actual snuggle. When Noni begins to snore, her human ever so carefully pushes her now limp body downward. The goal is to have half of her body between her legs while the other half of her body remains on top of her body. It is an operation requiring utmost attention and precision, because if Noni wakes up, she will misinterpret the rearranging and get up altogether to move to the end of the sofa, where no effective snuggling can take place. It may take another 15 minutes for Noni to realize she wants to be next to the one she loves more every day. 15 minutes during which her human is chilled, yet so incredibly comfortable she can't make herself get up to go get a blanket. If she must be cold and wait, she will. The side-by-side snuggle is just as wonderful as the on top of half the body snuggle. The side-by-side snuggle begins with coaxing soft whispers and silent, eye-to-eye communication. Her human's adoring gaze, staring into Noni's adoring gaze until Noni, a phenomenally lazy yet darling joy, will ploddingly literally drag herself across the sofa, executing perfect splits while moving 3 feet in a westerly direction. When she arrives beside her personal stylist's side, she relaxes and almost instantly falls asleep. The preparation for the near immediate slumber is a sacrificial act that pays dividends. Though her human has to arrange her body in such a manner that Noni's body will command more than 50% of the sofa, it's totally worth it. Noni stretches out completely. This means she's almost as long as her human. Her status as a dog means that her human can wrap her arms around her, and Noni feels nothing but happy reassurance. While she slumbers, her human can pet her belly, absently scratch her thighs, or caress her big head on every exposed side. Noni never moves. It even seems as if her body temperature rises from the gentle attention. The side-by-side snuggle has evolved into an all-night snuggle on more than several occasions. This snuggle is that enjoyable, that comfortable, and that emotionally rewarding for both parties. Each party feels completely safe. Noni because she knows her human cherishes her, and for her human, yes, she does love this unique creature, but as an added bonus, knows the cur will alert anyone carefully listening to any subtle dangers which may or may not lurk. Dangers the pit bull breed, mixed or not, has proven time and again not only a willingness to handle, but with an efficacy both alarmingly swift and enduring. Noni is not fully aware of certain of her capabilities, but her laundress is, and she cherishes these skills just as much as her superlative snuggling skills. Let it be known that snuggle time with the pit bull who loves you is the safest time spent on the planet. The length of time each snuggle lasts varies with each rewarding episode. It doesn't seem to matter how long or how short the time is. Every snuggle is perfect. The results are always the same. Both human and pit bull are fully refreshed. At times, the snuggle ends too quickly and with great unforeseen drama. The drama causing the abbreviated snuggle is dealt by none other than Kissy, the mackerel tabby cat, who is capable of teleporting herself from the far reaches of the backyard fence edge to the edge of the tuxedo sofa in the blink of a cat's green eye. There's never a warning. 1 second the snuggle is deep and relaxed. Then an eye will crack open accidentally, and Kissy is seen perched, crouching, relaxed, and low on all fours, staring not at her human food provider with glinting green eyes, but into the limpid brown eyes of the pit bull she loves to tease and torment. Chaos always ensues, full tilt. The pit bull is terrified of the non-violent posture while remembering too many razor-sharp claws exist on each invisible paw. If Noni is on her back when the accidental glance occurs, there's a wild struggle to roll over, which is difficult to achieve since there's little room on the sofa for a complete roll, especially when her human's arm is wrapped around her and their heads are resting lovingly on one another. Wild, eruptive flailing takes place, disrupting any shred of peace or rest, because Noni is desperately convinced she must run for her life and struggles to do just that. It's a struggle because both snugglers are rooted deep into the plush, willing cushions of the tuxedo sofa. While the decidedly uncoordinated struggle is taking place, Kissy leaps down soundlessly from her deliberately threatening perch. While she listens to the chunky pit bull untangling herself from their human, she strolls nonchalantly to the water bowl where she drinks slowly and with patient satisfaction. By the time her thirst is quenched, Noni is cowering in the yard, searching fruitlessly for her imagined attacker. Her imagined attacker has walked languidly to the shelf beneath the window and is atop it, on her cushion, bathing one of her front feet while she watches her quarry, looking at all corners of the yard in fear and trepidation. Kissy does not laugh. She does not gloat. She does nothing but finish her toilet, then gracefully curls up for one of her many 6-hour naps in any given 24-hour period. Why is the chunky pit bull such a champion snuggler? It is due to her substance, both the substance of her physicality and the substance of her character. The snuggle is rewarding due to the honest affection and loyalty both parties selflessly exhibit to one another. The most important and most convincing factor is the substance of love, real love. Not a fleeting feeling, but a lifetime commitment. A love based on reciprocity. A love whose core is reciprocity is a love that benefits more than just the parties who feel and share this reciprocated love for one another. The pit bull, or any dog who is cherished, does not understand the concept of love, its complexities and various mystifying nuances. The dog only knows a devotion so intense, every atom of her being is active in the commitment to it. It's effortless for the dog, yet it must be coaxed forward by the human. The dog does not know the treasure of love until the human consistently demonstrates it. Once experienced and learned, Because love is an education. It's never forgotten. The dog who has the good fortune to be loved by a human in the sanest manner, a manner encompassing the understanding that the human is responsible for both the birth and growth of the dog's happiness on earth. The dog who lands in this environment is almost as lucky as her human. For it is the human who benefits most from this relationship. It is the human who learns the true meaning of patience, trust, and fidelity. It is the human who learns of limitations and of boundlessness. The relationship with a dog is the most profound learning experience known. It is a learning without words, a learning of feelings grown, of feelings shared, and of feelings nurtured. Kindness is the result of this learning relationship. A kindness once learned seeps into every other encounters the human has. A dog truly possesses the capability of enhancing the human experience so that all humans benefit, whether or not a dog resides in their heart or life. The relationship humans have with their dogs is quiet, mystifying, and always evolving. Evolving if respect and admiration exist for the four-legged one who sees no error in anything his or her human does. For the dog, the human is a breathtakingly perfect creature, most especially when a human teaches a dog about the concept of love. The snuggle factor of Noni is off the charts because she loves. She loves with every fiber of her being. She craves the snuggle with her human because love is palpably returned. She can smell it and feel it. Her chunky, heavy body pressed close to the one who bathes her, feeds her, talks to her, trims her toenails, takes her for rides, who unfailingly answers her every call with enthusiasm and care, whose tenderness for her is expressed in both deed and word. It's more than bodily warmth that's shared in the snuggle. Authentic gentleness and kindness are imperative for the success of the snuggle. Without these factors, the snuggle more than likely never takes place, is never experienced by either party. And the world is made sadder because of the absence of this life-giving sweetness. Thankfully, this is a world this particular chunky pit bull will never know. She's a champion snuggler whose affection-seeking actions have become innate and are always reciprocated. Like humans and every other being on this indescribably amazing planet, Noni was born to love and to be loved. This is, of course, my personal experience with this wonderful, amazing, incredible sweetheart that graces my home. And I have literally seen her jump 4 feet in the air on all fours. Boom, just like jump up. But when it comes to getting on the sofa, it is the most pitiful looking thing. You would think she cannot do it, does not have the strength. It is impossible. She'll raise that back leg up, try to get the try. Oops, she can't do it. The left leg, try. Until finally she just slowly pulls herself, balances, go. And she can totally do that, what I was talking about. She put her little 4 feet come together and she balances perfectly. She's so cute, this dog. I mean, she is such a cute dog. I don't know what it is about these chunky pit bulls, why people love them so much, and they do. People love the physicality of this particular type of pit bull. They make you want to hug them. They make you want to hug them. You really and truly want to hug them. And you know what else? They will let you hug them. You can give them a big old bear hug and they'll just sit there and love it, wiggling their whole bodies. I mean, they're amazing. Dogs are phenomenal, and they never complain. Dogs never complain, and they're always happy. They're always happy. That's why I think they're in our homes. It's one of the many reasons why we love dogs so much, and choose them as our companions, and bring them into our homes, and cherish them, and take care of them, and love them, because they are happy, and they're always so happy to see us. And that's what they want more than anything in the world, is to be with us. They want to be with us, right next to us, always around us, so we can see them, so they can see us. And the snuggle, getting on the sofa. Anybody who has a dog who is a good snuggler. Another dog who has a body that type that's great for the snuggle is a basset hound. That dog body type is great. There's just something about that chunky body that is primo snuggling. It just is. And yes, they do take up 50% of the sofa, but it's worth it. It's worth it to feel them there beside you, just snuggling, laying, sleeping, so relaxed. And I think too, you know what? I think that relaxation, I think it seeps into us and relaxes us even more. Do you know that it's been scientifically proven that it does relax us to pet a dog? Our blood pressure lowers, and something happens in our brain when we pet a friendly, loving dog. Because when that dog is receiving those pets, even though we're the ones who are making all the effort, that dog is the one who's giving the most. And how they manage to do that is a mystery. Silent, remember? They can't talk to us. So they're silently expressing their joy and their happiness to us all the time. Those wagging tails, their shaking body, the way they look at us. I read that you're not supposed to look a dog in the eyes, and I think that refers to a dog who you don't know, a stranger dog. Because I have stared, Noni and I have had to stare contest, and quite frankly, I'm the one who looks away. She can just sit there and stare at you the whole time. It's not a problem. I don't know what she's thinking, but she's thinking. This dog thinks. And she is terrified of that little cat. Kissy terrifies everyone in the house. That mackerel tabby. And she loves it. She waits for them. She hides behind corners so that when they come near, she pounces out to frighten them. And of course, every single one runs for the hills. They run for the hills. It's fun to watch because no one ever gets hurt. It's a game. It's fun. And Noni she is an alpha. She is an alpha in my pack. And she is the best alpha. She is the best alpha. She's better than my big black dog. She's just so calm. So calm. Love will agitate the cur. They all going to pick on the cur. I do not know why this happens, but they do. But she does not push Gigi. I mean, she doesn't at all. And Gigi does not, I mean, she'll bark at her or snap at her, but it's so gentle, and there's not one bit of meanness in it, or even a rebuke. Even it doesn't even feel like a reprimand. It's just, hey, you've crossed a line, silly girl. Don't play. Don't play. That pit bull. There are so many pit bulls right now because we love them so much. They're the friendliest, most loving dogs I've ever seen. I've never had a pit bull in my home who was not, I mean, even keeled, totally even keeled. They're the most even keeled dogs I've ever fostered. And this one here I have, I'm telling you, this dog is just, she's just, there's just something special about her. She's got allergies. You gotta completely watch that. I mean, she really has allergies. I don't know what she's allergic to. I need to have some tests done. Kind of afraid to find out. She might be allergic because to everything. I don't know. Sometimes she has a little breakout. So she has to have Apoquel monthly, almost every day. Poor little baby. It's only in the summertime though. In the wintertime, it's okay. But she is she's a marvelous companion. She's marvelous. And loving. Dogs love. Dogs love. How can we think that dogs don't love? That they're not capable of love when we see it. When we see it every day. When we live with them. The way they're so happy to see us and want to be with us. They just adore us. Come check on us, see what we're doing. Lean on us. Isn't that the coolest thing when your dog leans on you? How wonderful does that feel? Feels pretty wonderful. I love it. I'd love to hear from some of y'all who have pit bulls, the chunky pit bulls, and tell me about snuggle time. I know every single one of y'all snuggle with this dog. It just can't be helped. And none of the other one, nobody else in my house is like that. I don't get the snuggle that I get with her. She's just a primo snuggler. She is, and I love her. I'm glad to have her. I'm very, very, very blessed. I hope she is too. I try to give her a good life. You know, dogs are easy. It doesn't take much to give a dog a good life. Good food, attention, and just being with you. That's pretty much it. And exercising. They need to be regularly exercised. They love that. Again, with you. They love exercising with you. They do. Isn't that amazing to have this being that can communicate that sentiment without words? Hey, I love being with you. You're the most wonderful being I've ever met. You're absolutely perfect. There is nothing wrong with you. You're perfect. I admire you. I respect you. I adore you. I am in awe of you. That's what our dogs communicate to us when they look at us. That's what they're thinking. How perfect and wonderful we are. They truly believe that. And you know it. Look at your dog. The next time your dog looks at you, he or she is wagging her tail, his or her tail. And you'll know exactly what I mean. Dogs. Give me a pit bull. Give me a pit bull. I want to thank y'all for your interest in buying my book, The Depth of Dogs. That means a lot to me, especially the ebook on Amazon. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Keep on buying. Keep on telling people. Tell everybody about it. Let's help some dogs, you guys. Dogs in America. They need our help big time. And I think everybody knows that. So let's do it for them. This has been Dog Food with Catherine Abel. Thank you.